All right, everyone. Welcome to Strong Principles. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zach Bragg.
I'm Larry Medina.
I'm Pete Miller.
I'm Rob Delacruz.
And I'm Wendy Shafransky. And today's topic is how not to lose progress when life interrupts. So we all have things that happen in life, some unplanned, some planned, like vacations. But I think there's a lot of misconception and information about how actually long it takes to kind of lose gains. So I'll just kind of gloss over it and then we can get into each one. But basically a week away from the gym, not much is happening. You know, you come back, you'll feel a little rusty, but you're good. 2 weeks, you're going to start to feel your endurance dip. Muscle's still going to be pretty good. Again, you're going to feel rusty when you get back. But it's that month or more that really makes a difference. But if you have been someone that has built to, you know, maybe a physique or a strength level that you're happy with, you have a couple months off, that ramp up back is actually shorter than the original build because there is such a thing as a muscle memory. It's not just an old wives' tale. So, you know, that being said, I wouldn't recommend everybody taking a month off on vacation, like at least get a little bit in, but like, let's kind of dig into all that.
What about every other month off?
Yeah, that doesn't work real well. Yeah, you're always restarting. We have a full house here right now, too. Yeah. I would say it's super dependent on what's going on, but I'm going to come at it with injuries. So if you have like spine or back where you're kind of bedridden, that's a whole different story. Yeah. And then if something's on top, like a sling or a cast on any of the limbs, there's going to be a lot of neurological like interception of the signaling, because it's all about signaling. But what happens a lot of times when someone has an injury or a tweak, they just stop, and you don't realize that let's, for instance, we'll take a cast. Someone breaks their arm, they put it on a cast. You don't do anything, you're going to have a large percentage of atrophy. You have this cast, the same person, and now they're going and they're exercising opposite limbs and legs. It's a 50% less atrophy because there's a cross-education signal. So what you're looking for is you're just trying to throw a signal at the body so it will keep the adaptations that it's built. Where you go wrong is you go long periods of time. You go past a week, you're going to start losing the reason to have muscle and strength. That's just the way the body works. It prunes it off over time.
Yeah, so a couple of the things that would stop you. Injury, like Rob brought out, maybe just vacation, maybe you're not motivated, so you miss a couple weeks. But a complete immobilization, like Rob is mentioning, is much different because the signals do get a little bit blunted. But you have some of those tools that he just brought out with the cross-education, training the opposite side. I get a lot of clients who go on vacation for a long period of time. We live in Florida, so we get a lot of seasonal clients who leave for months at a time. But really, like Wendy was saying, the first 3 weeks, there's really not much muscle mass lost. It's mostly glycogen and water. And so oftentimes I get clients who are away on vacation for a week or 2 weeks, and they're like, oh man, I lost a bunch of muscle. You might be feeling bad because you were eating bad and doing all these things, but really you likely didn't lose that much muscle. And in fact, if you kept your protein high and kept your nutrition really good, it doesn't take a lot to maintain that muscle mass at all. It doesn't take much at all. And so a lot of people think, oh, well, I'm not doing anything, so I'm losing it. But it's really not the case whatsoever.
No, and a lot of times, Zach's 100% correct, is that what happens is when you stop training, it's not that you lost the muscle. When you're training, there's a little bit of a swelling that gives you like you have like a pump a little more. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of that going away. So it makes you think you lost muscle, but you really haven't. It's just a fluid inside of there. It's like if you did arms and then your arms were pumped for a while period of time. Creatine helps with that, but Zach's 100% correct.
Yeah, and our snowbirds are actually pretty badass. Like, I was checking in with some of our clients that are away for the summer yesterday, and like Zach's clients, Robin, Jess, they're killing it. Like, they're still training. These are women in their 70s, you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's the people that are here year-round, but then they're like, hey, I'm going to Asheville for 2 months or whatever. Then they just stop working out, and you shouldn't do that. So, yes, you're going to be active, you're going to be hiking, whatever, but take twice a week and just do something. If it's at a hotel with dumbbells, it's better than nothing. You need just a little bit of a signal to kind of keep fresh on movement patterns, muscle, all that stuff. So it's not perfect. It's not your home gym, but the point there is just do something or you're going to be kind of rebuilding.
So do you think that it could be something along the lines of like, let's say you just don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, so like when your members, right? If I was like, hey, I'm going to go away to Asheville for 2 months, would you be like, here's what you should do?
Yeah, I mean, we have those options. I mean, they have our app that they see our workouts, so if they have access to a gym, they could modify with dumbbells or whatever. We also have a Vero Strength Anywhere, which is kind of more body weight, or, you know, we say to add dumbbells as you can.
I like that.
So we have those options. But I mean, really just, you know, I've said before, we like to educate people. I would hope most people, they definitely know how to warm up, they know their mobility, but, you know, pick a couple upper body and lower body exercises, knock them out in a session, call it a day, you know?
I can speak to this personally
Okay.
because in February, I had to take a defensive tactics instructor course, during which time I herniated my C7. And now it's pressing on the nerves, which has shut down my tricep, my pec, and my lat. So again, I have to send signals because it's not getting enough signal, it's just atrophying. But what I did is I kept doing trigger sessions, which are through my pump, which is just a full body, quick 20 rep, but I would do them every other day so that I'm sending signals to everything. So even though I can't work out and the muscle's not growing, I'm still sending enough signal to not completely atrophy and still gain some of my other stuff while I'm hurt.
Right.
To be able to maintain.
Pete's touching on, that's a little bit of there's some nerve going on there and neurological. But when Zach was getting into it, it's just touching the signals. So when you're away, you want to make it as simple as possible because the amount that it takes as far as volume and effort to hold on is completely different than it is to build. You're looking at less than a 10th, more like a 7th. So one day a week of just some air squats, some push-ups, and some TRX rows will go a long way for a period of time.
Yeah, and then, so I think a lot of the times too. So when you're in this scenario where you're away, again, it goes back to in the last episode we talked about an all or nothing attitude, and you really want to try to combat that because when you're away, a lot of people feel like I'm not working out right now, so I might as well not eat right. I might as well not do anything. I might as well drink alcohol, and then they fall into this. But
Yeah.
The point being is when you can understand that it doesn't take that much, and then given this scenario and what Wendy's talking about, if you're somebody who's been training for a long time or has built a solid foundation of muscle mass, then you probably understand, you got foundational movement patterns. It doesn't have to be an all-out workout. It doesn't take much to send that signal to maintain that muscle mass. But then what happens is people have the time away and they decide to do nothing because maybe they have an all or nothing attitude. But then they come back and they're like, all right, I'm starting over. And they ramp up way too fast and go do way too much, go way too hard. And it actually can have a negative effect. And so oftentimes we try to really collect those people into the thinking that now we're getting more into a minimum effective dose. We're going to take it really slow, build it back up, watch the diet really good, and then get back in the training from there. And so it's just again, it kind of goes back to the mindset thought process of understanding it doesn't take much to maintain the muscle mass. You're not starting over. You're not starting from the beginning. And there's a minimum effective dose that's required. That's all it takes.
Yeah, and I mean, when we go on a week vacation, we don't necessarily work out. We'll be active and hike and stuff like that, but we do not stress out about not working out in a week. But if we have easy access to a gym, we might start the day with, if it's in a hotel with something. If we're gone for more than 1 week, we're dropping into, a Globo gym and doing our own thing and, whatever. But don't get into that spiral because a lot of times, Zach's talking about they come back and they want, they just want to go for it. The opposite is that they just say, I'm not going back.
Yeah, because that week off is probably good for your recovery.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? In all seriousness.
And, sleep in, have a drink, have chocolate, whatever.
It's when you go further out where you're going to run into. You start going 2s, 3s, a month. Now you got to you're going to feel like you're kind of starting over a little bit to a certain extent, even though it's going to come back quick, and that gets disheartening to a lot of people.
Yeah, when you're going that long. If you can have the mindset of thinking in, and Wendy brought this up in her blog post, in thinking in more years and this is a lifetime thing, not just a short period of time. So, you start thinking the long term. It's okay if I have this week off or this 2 weeks off. And to your point, oftentimes I have clients who will go away for a vacation. They come back. They say that I got stronger, but actually it's just you're recovered and you feel good. Your body feels good, so you can lift some weight today.
Yeah, I've taken a week off, and then my time is faster, and I'm like, oh, that's weird, But I think it is to your point of it's because I just had time off.
Yeah, you were training, and so during a training period, your body is breaking down and then recovering and then rebuilding. So a whole week off gives you that extra recovery.
It's kind of like the MMA person who like goes hard week before they stop. They don't stop completely,
Right.
but they go really light.
Yeah.
And then it's that recovery phase. Granted, there's a lot going on that week, weight
Just
cut, this, that,
greasing
the other,
groove,
but
kind of.
That's why like
Staying sharp.
athletes use deloads.
Yeah, exactly.
Really cut it down.
And if so say you are gone, 2 weeks or more, and you do a couple workouts at a gym that you're not familiar with, it's not going to feel the same. It just, if you don't know where anything is, you're kind of just figuring it out. You're sleeping on a bed that's not yours. You're probably not getting enough sleep. It's not going to feel the same. But you're doing something.
Yeah.
And you're doing something good for yourself.
You're still sending the signal.
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we just want to kind of dispel the notion that, if a week out of the gym is going to be detrimental, it's not. A month or more, yes, you can build back. Doesn't take as long as the original build, but you don't want to get in that position. So just little things to send a signal go a long way.
Yep.
Perfect.
Very good, guys. Thanks for listening. This has been Strong Principles.